Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to unpack how AI is really starting to shake things up in the world of SEO agencies. We're basing this on a pretty interesting article from Search Engine Land. Our goal here is simple: get you the key insights quickly and clearly about the big shifts happening. So the main question we're digging into is, how exactly are these AI platforms going to disrupt the way traditional SEO agencies work? This article lays out a really compelling case for some pretty significant changes. We'll look at the money side, the automation bit, and this idea of getting like unbiased advice.
That's right. And starting with the economics, it's kind of eye-opening. The article contrasts, the typical agency retainer, maybe 2 grand, maybe up to 20 grand a month, right? And then it puts that against what these AI platforms might cost. We're talking maybe $500 to $2,000 a month. And the claim is they could get you similar, maybe even better results for that price.
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge difference.
Absolutely huge. And they gave that example, didn't they? A mid-sized e-commerce site paying, say, 5,000 bucks a month currently. This piece suggests they might get pretty much the same service from an AI tool for, what was it, like $750?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Around 750. And you can immediately see how that changes the game. Suddenly, if you're an in-house marketing manager, you're looking at that and thinking, okay, wait a minute.
Right. So does this fundamentally change how businesses even think about SEO return on investment?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just, oh, here's a cheaper option. It forces a rethink of the whole value proposition. It could mean more businesses feel equipped to bring SEO in-house, or at least parts of it. And that forces agencies to really prove their worth beyond the tasks AI can now do cheaper and maybe faster.
Yeah.
It puts the squeeze on agencies that haven't, adjusted.
Okay, so building on that cost pressure, the article then pivots to another big impact: automation, specifically automating technical SEO. This is where it gets kind of fascinating, how AI can just find and sort the technical problems on a website.
Yeah, and it's not just finding the problems, which is already helpful.
Yeah.
The article says these platforms can often figure out the fix, generate the code, and sometimes even implement it. Plus, they can keep an eye on the site's health constantly in real time. Think about like site speed checks or mobile usability stuff that used to take a lot of manual hours.
Right. And the speed aspect is key too. The idea that AI can adapt to Google's algorithm updates way quicker than humans, and even, get this, figure out what competitors are doing with their code that might be affecting you. It almost makes you wonder about the future role of someone who's just purely a technical SEO expert, this AI code era they talk about. Is that role diminishing?
Well, maybe diminishing isn't the right word, but definitely evolving. The article seems to suggest that while AI handles the routine stuff, the patterns it knows, the human expert shifts focus. You'd be looking at more complex, unique problems, or maybe directing the AI strategy, overseeing it. But the grunt work of technical fixes, yeah, that looks increasingly automated.
Okay. Now, let's shift gears a bit. Trust, that's always been, well, let's just say a variable in the SEO industry. The article doesn't really pull any punches about, the historical reputation some agencies have had, maybe sometimes unfairly, sometimes not, of looking out for themselves first.
And this is where the AI platforms position themselves pretty cleverly. They basically say, look, we're data-driven. We track everything across loads of sites.
Mhm.
The idea is to offer unbiased advice based purely on that data, removing the human element where, incentives might not perfectly align with the clients. It's about letting the results speak.
It's like having that super objective analyst who never sleeps, constantly watching your SEO performance. And the article even hints at a future where these tools could show you, like a full log. This change was made. Here's the direct impact on rankings or traffic.
Mhm.
That level of transparency, that could be massive for building trust. So, okay, you've got cheaper options, you've got automation of key tasks. How are the actual agencies responding? What's the vibe out there?
Well, the article uses some pretty strong language, actually. Talks about carnage in parts of the SEO and content world. But it also notes that the freelance market seems to be booming alongside this, so it's not a simple picture.
Right, and it adds that context about maybe things got a bit overheated for agencies after the pandemic boost. Like maybe there was this artificial growth spurt, and now we're seeing a correction amplified by AI.
Exactly. And the prediction seems to be we're heading into a lean phase.
Hmm.
The efficiencies AI brings, they'll probably benefit the biggest agencies the most, those with scale. So if you're a smaller or mid-size agency, what do you do? How do you survive that?
The article lays out a few key strategies. Number one, brand. Building that strong, trusted name is more important than ever. Number two, efficiency. Running lean, keeping overheads low to stay competitive on price. And maybe the most critical, combining AI tools with human strategy adding value that automation alone can't provide. That seems crucial. It's interesting, though, that direct competition point they made. The idea that the platforms agencies use are also becoming their direct competitors for clients who want to DIY. That DIY outlet analogy is pretty sharp.
It really is. You see that pattern in other industries too, right? The tools become more accessible, shifting power.
Okay, so this all sets up what the article calls a kind of paradoxical future for SEO. Like, on one side, lower costs mean more businesses might actually start doing SEO. The market could grow overall.
But yeah, the paradox is that automation probably means fewer traditional SEO jobs within those agencies. You might end up with like a smaller number of really big, super efficient agencies controlling a larger slice of the pie. So yeah, the total market value might go up, but who gets that money is going to look very
That
different.
in success shifts, right? It's less about just knowing the technical nuts and bolts
Mhm.
and more about having a strong brand, being incredibly efficient, maybe even a winner takes all situation for the big players. They even mentioned things like agency marketing, the client experience, even having a physical office becoming important signals costly signaling, they called it.
Exactly. It's like saying we're stable, we're high quality, we invest in a market where the core work is getting commoditized by AI. You need other ways to stand out, especially for bigger clients.
So it sounds like a major shakeup leading to maybe a new market structure. The article described like four tiers.
Yeah, it breaks it down like this. Tier 1, enterprise level. Think big, established agency brands. They'll use AI heavily for efficiency, but offer high-level strategy, premium service, premium price. Probably leaner teams, though.
Okay, makes sense. Tier two.
Mid-market solutions. This is where the article suggests the AI platforms themselves might really dominate, offering the core SEO service directly to medium-sized businesses, maybe with just a little human oversight needed.
Gotcha. So the platform is the agency
Pretty
almost.
much for that segment. Then Tier 3, the small business market. Here, it's about easier access, better tools, AI recommendations, allowing more small businesses to manage SEO in-house effectively.
Democratization, kind of.
And the last tier.
Tier four, small agencies and freelancers. They'll likely serve clients who just don't want to DIY or don't have the time, offering that personalized service, filling a specific niche.
So the real squeeze seems to be on those agencies stuck in the middle today, the traditional mid-size ones. That's the strong implication. They either need to find a way to scale up dramatically and compete with the big guys, or cut way back on overheads to compete with the platforms and the DIY options. It's a tough spot.
So for the actual people working in SEO today, the professionals, what's the big takeaway for them?
Adapt, basically. The article is pretty clear on that. The job shifts from doing all the technical stuff manually to being more of a strategist, an AI platform expert, someone who interprets the data and guides the process. For agency owners, like we said, it's scale up or slim down drastically.
But there is that potential positive note you mentioned, the whole market might actually get bigger.
Yeah, potentially. More businesses doing SEO because it's more accessible. But again, the money flows differently. AI platforms grab the mid-market, mega agencies take the enterprise slice. It's a redistribution of revenue.
So the core message, especially for agency owners, it sounds like it's pretty urgent.
It really does. Adapt now or risk becoming obsolete later. That means investing in your brand, cutting costs like crazy, maybe even becoming experts in implementing these very AI platforms that are changing the game. The future favors the brands and the efficient operators, not just the tech whizzes anymore.
It paints a picture of, yeah, a few very dominant, very efficient players, and then this long tail of smaller niche providers.
That sums up the potential future outlined in the article pretty well, I think.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you listening? Maybe you own a business thinking about SEO, maybe you're a marketer using these tools, or maybe you're just curious about how digital services are changing. This deep dive shows a really fundamental shift is happening. AI and SEO isn't just about cheaper tools. It's making us rethink how SEO gets done and what skills are actually going to matter most down the road.
And that leads to, I think, the really big question for everyone. How do we best blend human creativity, strategic thinking, all that good stuff with the raw power of AI, especially for something like getting found online? The article gives us one possible roadmap, a fascinating one. Go through with the thinking about these points, maybe even checking out some of these AI SEO tools yourself. What part of this shift stands out most to you? What seems like the biggest deal?